welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Pauper at the request of Patreon subscriber Samael, and I am once again revisiting their build of Mono Blue Tron. This version, freshly updated with some cool new stuff from Modern Horizons 3. The core plan of this deck is, of course, have a ton of mana. It is a Tron deck. The Tron lands tap for colorless on their own, and once you have all three together, they make 7. We've got Expedition Map, Candy Trail, Brainstorm, Impulse to find the lands and get them together, and the rest of the deck is a bunch of counter spells, draw spells, and then big stuff to do with your mana. The cool new cards here are Utter Insignificance, Flash, Enchant Creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and has base power toughness 1/1, and you can pay 2 and a colorless to exile this creature. A small cool trick that does exist in the deck if it comes together is you can activate the Exile Enchanted Creature ability, and then in response, repeal your own Utter Insignificance, and then the creature will still be exiled, but your Utter Insignificance is back in your hand. Could come up in a super grindy game, just going to be aware of that. Petrifying Meddler, a powerful draft common from the new set. And they're all draft commons from the new set, but this one you actually want in your deck a lot of the time. 4 and a blue, Devoid. When you cast a spell, tap up to one target creature and put a stun counter on it, and it has Reach. If you remember in previous builds of this, we were just getting kind of picked apart by flying creatures, and I really wanted something with flying or Reach to help close that door. Petrifying Meddler. For reasons unclear, a blue common from a draft set has Reach. The color pie means nothing when the Eldrazi are involved. This thing can reach up into the sky and stop those Delvers. Unfathomable Truths. 4 and a blue, instant, draw 3 cards, make 3/0/1 spawns that can sacrifice to add a colorless. And then Drown Yard Lurker. 7 mana, 7/7 vigilance. When you cast or recycle this, make a spawn. And it cycles for 2 and a blue. Just a big thing you can do early, or you can cycle it early, or just a big thing late. This deck is super grindy. You have Lorien Revealed plus Unfathomable Truths. The cards are going to keep coming. You got big stuff to do that gains life, big stuff to do that comes up the board. You have this awesome counterspell / stifle that is a difficult to remove creature later on. I enjoyed playing this deck a lot, and I'm excited to try the new build. Let's get into it. This is Samael's Mono Blue Tron. I'm on the play in round 1. I've got 2 Tron lands and an island. Yeah, I'm ready to go. If they're hyper aggressive, this hand is probably going to get run over, but I mean, we are soft in the main to hyper aggressive strategies anyway. You'll notice the sideboard is chock full of Hydroblasts and Gut Shots. Like, we are really trying to address that. Also, Trinket Mage for Campfire is a package that exists in the sideboard. Campfire, by the way, 14 tickets on Magic Online. Holy smokes. There's no way that card is that good. It's got to be one of those weird, we weren't actually going to release this at all, but here you go kind of moments. I'm going to lead on Power Plant in case I high roll into the tower and can cast this Drown Yard Lurker on 3. I'm not going to do anything for this blue mana on turn 1 anyway. You've got a Preordain. Top. Hers is mine. Still not going to do anything with this blue mana. I'm not going to cast a Brainstorm that I'm not sure if I can shuffle or not. Fairy Seer. Okay, we are playing against a low-to-the-ground tempo aggressive strategy. Maybe I can Mirror Shell Crab a Ninjutsu activation next turn. That would be sick. It would be way more sick if I just draw a tower and cast a 7/7, though. Just putting that out there. For the world, for the universe to consider. Okay, just a Brainstorm. Gonna have to slow our roll slightly. But this is the plan that was gonna roll out anyway if I led on Island. It's not like it cost me anything to do this. Okay, here we go. I think this is worth doing. They could still just refire it next turn, but at least this card advantage engine is a turn behind where they would have liked it to be. The Ninja stays in their hand and they could replay Fairy Seer. Not an elegant solution, but it does buy time, which is what Tron decks need. And now I have a turn with blue mana up, cards in my hand. I can fire one of these Brainstorms and see where it goes. Okay, that's a shuffle for Brainstorm, at the very least. And that's a tower. Hello. You fart around long enough, you get paid. That's how Tron works. I'm going to put back Expedition Map. because I don't need more mana at this time. Cast. And here's Drownyard Lurker. Brings a spawn with it, which means I can also cast Candy Trail right now. That's exciting. Oh, that means I can scry too. I can get rid of this expedition map entirely. Okay, cool. I forgot I was going to have this one extra mana when I sequenced all this. Map to the bottom. I'm actually already holding Unfathomable Truths. I'm going to bottom the Lorien Revealed also. I kind of can already do that. Hopefully they don't have something easy like Vapor Snag to clear the Drownyard Lurker. They don't have a swamp, so they can't snuff it out. And they did miss their land drop last turn. Here comes the Ninja. This one does not have reach, unfortunately. Okay, Ninja the Deep Hours is in. But it's much better to be in when I have a 7/7 than in when I don't. Oh no, a swamp. Don't snuff me, bro. Okay, Sneaky Snacker. I love this thing. When you draw your third card in a turn, it comes from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. That means you cast a Brainstorm, and there it is. Awesome stuff. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to draw 3 cards. And I get a bunch of mana off that as well. Utter Insignificance is good on this Ninja. I'm going to attack first. I have a 7/7 Vig. Let's see what they want to do about that. Probably just chump block with the Sneaky Snacker. That's such a sweet name, too. It's just hiding, eating cookies, running away if it gets caught. I respect that lifestyle. Oh, I don't need to freeze this Ninja. I have a 7/7 in play. Why would I ever do that? Okay. I think I'm just going to play Island and pass, because I can Utter Insignificance plus draw card with Candy Trail, and it's all at instant speed. They got 8 cards in hand. We're pretty sure 7 of them are spells, and at least 7 of them are spells, because they missed that land drop last turn. Okay. They're probably all spells if they're cycling Lorien Revealed rather than just playing land 5 that could cast Lorien Revealed. So 7 spells in hand. One of them is the Fairy Seer that we've seen. Okay, so they're just passing in the end step. I'll eat my Candy Trail. I could freeze this thing, but it having flying doesn't matter. No, I'm not going to do that. That just doesn't do anything. They're showing Counterspell. We know there's more things they could cast that they haven't done yet. I'm going to attack with my Lurker. Another chump block, unsurprising. Spellstutter Sprite would be pretty annoying. But if they Spellstutter this Brainstorm, okay, which they didn't. Condescend, that's a game changer. Don't need Expedition Map. And I'm about to shuffle with Self-Assembler. Do I want my 3rd blue, or do I want another Tron land? I think I just want more blue at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assembler. I can Condescend a Counterspell here and then keep doing stuff. Condescend, pay 1 for that. Then I scry 2, which I immediately shuffle away. Yeah, bottom both of these and then shuffle them back into my deck. Hell yeah. Right, now we're actually adding to the board. And I could have 4 mana right now. Oh, I can have 5 mana right now with the Spawn. Hell yeah, Spawn, let's go. Another one. Yeah, just getting bigger on board than this deck is how you overwhelm them. You can't let these Sneaky Snackers just chump block your 7/7 forever while they figure out a plan. You got to get these biggos in. This Preordain will be the 2nd card they've drawn this turn for the double Snacker in the graveyard. I got to get a foils of this thing. This is definitely the type of deck that I would enjoy. Top bottom to the Scry. Fairy Seer. Okay, that's not a cantrip. Oh, they top bottom the Scry again and don't have a 3rd draw? Interesting. Spiked another Condescend. That should really shut the door. In for 15. A Mirror Shell Crab plus Condescend. That's a lot of counterspells I'm showing right now. We're taking 11. Okay, if I Assembler for 5 here, I'll still have 3, 6, 7, 8 mana left. That's enough to Mirror Shell Crab and Condescend for a lot. I'm going to add the Assembler. It's just in without resistance. I like that. I'm not going to get cute with this Brainstorm while I had that shuffle on the stack. I have Lethal on board. Okay, there's Brainstorm. They can pay for Mirror Shell Crab. This returns the Snackers. I think that's okay. I got a lot going on here. I don't want to waste Condescend on a Brainstorm when they might just have another Brainstorm. And I'm beating this anyway. Cycling Lorien in the end step. They've got 4 cards in hand. One of them's an island. Fairy Seer. Top bottom, their Scry. Snuff out. And they tapped low enough that I can crab it. Sick. Yeah, they're not in a good position to pay 4 life for that, but it would have got around my soft permission. Handled. And can't afford to attack with their sneakies. Not that sneaky after all. Too busy snacking. Just gonna attack with all my shit. See what they want to do about it. Oh, wow. Lined up a double block. So Utter Insignificance actually does play here because it makes it a 1-1. I don't think I'm getting much better than that. I could even exile the thing, and then it's not in the graveyard either. I wonder how many turns that's been sitting there in play. Okay, sick. I even have one floating to condescend this. Smooth. Nice, okay. This game brought to you by that turn 3 crab on their ninja that bought me 1 turn to find the tower, and then I was just bigger than them for the rest of the game. Cool. Okay, Gut Shot comes in here. That might be it. Or I could see Exclude being useful. Maybe. Oh, Relic. Yeah, with the snackers. Just realized my MTGO account loaded 2 different Relic of Progenitus, neither of which are common. Love the aesthetic choice there. Exclude's a maybe. It can be a little clunky. If you ever exclude anything, it's completely bonkers in matchups like this, but also it's a 3-mana thing and all their things cost 1 or 2, and some of them come into play without being cast. Insignificance removing the snacker is actually cool, or knocking the cantrip off of a ninja. Boulder Branch Golem, despite being made of branches, does not have reach, something that I have complained to the flavor judges about. I wrote letters after the last league. Just a big clunky dummy who gains life isn't really what this matchup's about. There is one desert in the deck too, which is great for this matchup, and Expedition Map can get it. Repeal is an interesting item because, like that Mirror Shell Crab play in game 1, it can buy me an important turn to buy the breathing room I need for my real plan to work, but bouncing a ninja, they could just ninja to another creature, maybe even in the same combat. Most of their things have flash or ETB abilities or both. I think I'm going to shave a crab because it doesn't block flyers, and then I'm going to submit like this. Light sideboarding. 2 of the same Tron land, but I have Lorien Revealed and Expedition Map, so that's the second Tron land and basic blue mana available. I'm good with this hand. Insignificance and Repeal are my cheaper interactive spells if I need to buy some time. Fairy Seer. They mold to 6. Top. You hate to see it. Okay. You love to see the 3rd Tron land, though. I'm going to play Map right now while they can't Spellstutter Sprite it. If they shove a ninja into play, I will have preferred to cycle Lorien Revealed and turn off ninja's abilities. Oh, good, a tap land. Buys me the time I needed. Yeah, like, untap land ninja punishes this play, but otherwise, I like that decision. And they can see the Tron writing on the wall here. It's coming. Instead, Brainstorm. Not going to fight over that. There's nothing to fight over, which is part of the reason. But even if I had Condescend, I wouldn't send it there. Here comes the Fairy Seer. I cannot interact with it in combat. Here's the Ninja. No surprises there. That's going to successfully connect once, and then I will make it utterly insignificant. They did miss their land drop, which is not surprising, or else they wouldn't have played a tap land on turn 2. I need a mine to finish my Urza party here. Oh, shit. Well, that changes things. If I could just block this 2-2 with a 4-4, that's way better than taking a turn off to remove its abilities. Okay. Self-Assembler. They could snuff it out. They do have a swamp in play. But begin the true work of turning this game around and winning. Not just not losing now or trying to cut their engine, but actually winning now. Snuffed out. No surprises there. They're just coming through. They didn't replay the Fairy Seer, so they're planning to do something with their mana. I'll get this island and then go to my turn. Another tower is not really what I want. I could pay 5 for this Self-Assembler, let them counter it, and then play Utter Insignificance. Annul. Oh my god, that's brutal. Okay, yeah, that was a really good counter spell to have. And I think I want to make this thing insignificant on their upkeep. The super tough beat here, though, is that if they just have another ninja, they can ninjutsu that ninja in picking up this one, and my Utter Insignificance just falls off. Ninjutsu is very tricky. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle Lorien Revealed with that mana I had floating in the upkeep. I kind of have hopes of drawing 3 cards to pull ahead. in the near future. But I would like to do 2 blue things next turn. Okay, please just attack for 1 and don't ninja. Ninju? Ninjutsu. Don't ninjure me. A career-ending ninjury. Okay, enough foolishness. I can do the bounce utter insignificance trick here. Do I want to main phase it or do it on their turn? Probably do it on their turn, where they at least have to use their own mana to fight over it. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to activate utter insignificance, and then repeal utter insignificance. There we go. We're doing it. They have a spell stutter sprite, which does not counter anything that's happening. They must have 2. Yeah, because this is a 3-drop. X equals 2. And then the creature gets exiled. Hell yeah. Sweet trick. I drew Desert. Look at Desert versus the board they have. This is the Esper Terramorphic Expanse from MH3. Nice. And I'm just sitting pretty on this additional removal spell now. The map. I like the map. I'm going to play the map, see if this is a fight they want to have, but I think they would have countered repeal if they had a counter spell. I can drop Desert in here, and then I can brainstorm. All right, I need to set a stop in the end of, in the combat damage. No, end of combat. I already have a stop there. This is not in damage. It's in end of combat. Okay, we're good. I have my stops correctly set. Yeah, you have to take the damage from the attacking creature, but then you can hit it after it damages you. In the end of combat step, the creature is still an attacking unblocked creature, even though it's already done its damage. So you can sandbag a ninja. Oh, is this a bigger ninja? What's all this mana? Oh, Kiba Gang Shinobi. Gross. Well, they know I have utter insignificance, so I can just turn that off. Utterly insignificant. This card's been great. Didn't have the annul. And, okay. I take 1, and then end of combat, I can kill the Fairy Seer or the Shinobi. I can kill the Shinobi anytime. I'm going to take out the Seer. Okay, sweet. And I think I tutor for an island now, so I could just fire a Lorien Revealed next turn. We are firing on all cylinders here. It feels good. Oh, the repeal, it's so much better. Okay, well, let's do that trick again. Exile this, in response, repeal it. The hard lock. Yeah, get out of here. Sweet. Okay, that rules. Do I want to fire Brainstorm now? Do I need to? I want to cast Lorien Revealed, not shuffle with it, so I'm actually just going to hold here. Okay, they just cast no spells. Not even the... oh, it's Spellstutter Sprite. That's why they didn't cast it. I killed Fairy Seer. Okay. Spellstutter Sprite's not super effective versus Lorien Revealed. It is really good versus Brainstorm. If what they have is Counterspell instead, then they're going to get me, but I'm not going to wait for another blue source to hold up Condescend for that. Another tower in play. And I have to go to discard. It's out of blue sources here. Here's Spellstutter, just as a creature. Discard a Urza's Mine, because I like the power plant art better. High-level decision-making. Here comes the sprite. I imagine there's a ninja involved here. Yep, okay. I take the 2. I don't have blue up for insignificance right now. No reason to deal 1 to this. It's a 2-2. And then I'll go to my turn. Okay, if I cast Brainstorm, I know they have Spellstutter Sprite. Impulse gets around Sprite. I'm going to Impulse. Unfathomable Truths. I like that card a lot. I would have liked the 5 mana 4/5 better. That's what I thought it was for a second when I saw the blue Eldrazi border. Insignificance Truths. I'm going to take Truths, because that makes 3 blockers for a ninja as well. Big sad that we whiffed on another blue source, so I can't Condescend as protection. I can fill the board with dummies, though. Tiny Dinguses. Okay, Truths. Here they come. Are the Truths fathomable? Oh, I only get 1? I thought I got 3. Alright, I've learned what a card does. Okay, I thought that made 3 for some reason. I guess that would be really good, huh? And it's already good. But that's not what the card does. They're cycling a Lorien when they could have drawn 3, so more interested in mana to cast spells than spells at this point. Okay. Assembler is great. I'm going to lead on this map, because I want more blue, and this might be tempting enough for Spellstutter Sprite to take a jump at, which unlocks my Brainstorms. Okay, I'll Brainstorm in response to this Sprite. See if we just unlocked the Spellstutter Sprite Chain. We didn't. And we hit Gutshot. Put back some Tron lands. I'm not going to need those. Spellstutter resolves. Shot through the gut. 0 fairies in play. Ooh, they did have the second Sprite. Just didn't want to fight me. Okay, smart. I'm going to condescend this. This is a good fight to win. They'll have to pay 2 if they want this card. Bottom these 2 Tron lands that I just got rid of. Then this Gutshot works. Expedition maps in. I still have my land drop. Self-assembler, get in there. No annul this time. Another assembler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get the island that I want and still play assembler. Okay, sweet. That was a big turn. Spent the whole game sculpting to a spot where I can flip it on them, and I feel like I just flipped it on them a bit. Drownyard Lurker in my hand. Lurkin. Murmuring Mystic. Oh shit, this card sucks for me. I'm going to have to make that utterly insignificant before it kills me. Interesting attack. Are they going to double snuff out? Okay, there's 1 snuff out. Do we have another one? Cast down. Okay. Now I have to decide if I'm more worried about Murmuring Mystic or the Ninja. And I think it's the Ninja. Because if they don't have spells to cast, then I don't care about Mystic. This might be greedy and regrettable, but I'm here for it. At this moment, it makes sense to me. My life total's pretty low, though. All right. I'm going to start with Brainstorm, because Impulse can clear the Brainstorm cards if I don't find another shuffle. All right, hand full of juice, and we get to repeal the Utter Insignificance again. How do I want to sequence this? I have to redraw. I think it's fine. I'm going to do the trick. Repeal this. I gave up my shuffle to definitely answer these creatures right now. I'm going to make Murmuring Mystic insignificant. Brainstorm, yeah, just get 1 more dope for the road. And I have this giant Reach Idiot now, too. Reach Idiot plus Desert can control these birds, I hope. Okay, 7. I can play the Drownyard Lurker this turn. I am out of blue. I'm also out of repeal, so I'm just going to delete the Murmuring Mystic before it has any chance to do anything. And we're in the tempo zone. Could get tempoed out here. I love the Reach creature. They got 2 cards left in hand. And they just brainstormed, so if they're in a brainstorm block, we got them. Okay, can't block. End of combat, kill a bird. That buys me a whole turn. The Snacker. It's so sneaky. 0 cards in hand, though, so now we're cooking. I think I should have impulsed in my upkeep because I knew I didn't want Power Plant. That was a small spew. I'll impulse now. Another Lurker. Let's try to get this game over. I like that. I'm going to take Lurker. Cast this Lurker. Cast the Meddler. Because the Snacker is the one I do want to lock down. It both hits the hardest and comes back more. Okay. I now have them not quite dead on board. They're at 1 on board. But Condescend for way more than they could have. 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess they do have a lot of lands to play. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Unless the spell's free, I can Condescend it. Reach creature, so they're not attacking in. Oh, I actually do... No, I don't. I'm at 1. I was about to say I lose to Ninjutsu. I lose to Okiba Game Shinobi here. But they played their land before combat. Yeah, they have 2 flyers and I only have 1 flying blocker, so if they had another Okiba Gang, they could have got me for exact damage here. Alrighty. No attacks. Can't afford the heat. And they're hellbent. I'm going to fire this Lorien Revealed. Trying to win the game now. Candy Trail. This gains 2 or 3 life. So gaining 3 life should make this game ungettable for them. Ah, the Petrifying Meddler. Let's go. Okay, that wins the game now. I was 1 damage short. This locks down a blocker. I enjoy these new Eldrazi cards in this shell. This is awesome. All right, sweet. This is one of the matchups that it felt horrible last time I played the deck, and we just kind of handled it nicely over 2 games. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw for round 2, I have 2 of my Tron lands in Candy Trail. That's good enough for me, not knowing the matchup. Misvault Bridge, okay, this is cool. There's some cool new affinity stuff from MH3, and I just have Natty Tron, baby. Okay, cool affinity stuff from MH3. I imagine we'll see some of it here. One of them is like a flying fox dog thing that makes me discard a card when it comes into play. And I'm going to have to think about that as I sequence to just always be ready to discard a card if I need to. Don't want to get caught with one very important card in my hand. There it is, the flying fox dog thing. Zombie rat, okay, yeah, same thing, fox dog. I'm going to discard power plant because I already have Tron. Kind of sick that that's a 2-drop for all practical purposes in the affinity deck. This past weekend, I did a Modern Horizons 1, 2, 3 draft, 1 pack of each Modern Horizon set, and I had one of these in my deck. But the first 2 Horizon set don't really support affinity, so I played this for 3 once off of a Floodhound investigation. That's as good as I got. But seeing it in Constructed, where you get to play artifact lands, is a different beast. This is just Ravenous Rats with a massive upside. Vault of Whispers, Ichor Wellspring, Blood Fountain, Mirror Enforcer, they're getting bigger. I'm playing a 7/7 next turn, so I'm pretty big too, but that is a powerful start for my opponent. And I'll draw my card with Candy Trail in the end step. Another tower. Potentially someday useful. I do just want the biggest thing here. Groundyard Lurker, 7/7. Tron lands are like having affinity, except it works for all your spells instead of just your affinity spells. I am at the point of the game where I'm concerned that I haven't come up with a blue source yet. I do need to find one of those. I bottomed 2 things off the Candy Trail that weren't blue sources. Deadly Dispute, drawing some cards. I'm not intimately familiar with the construction of the Grixis Affinity Shell right now. I assume they have some way to kill a 7/7, but I'm going to hope they don't. At least not for a while. If they have cast downs and stuff in the deck, they'll be fine. If they're relying on Galvanic Blasts and Edicts, then they're not going to be fine. Sneaky Snacker, again. My new favorite thing. Okay, 2 flying damage coming through. If I draw a blue source for this Meddler, I'm going to be almost completely stable. Instead, I drew a tower. That gives me 10 mana to double assemble this turn. I'm going to go with the Lurker before I cast any spells. They can't kill it, even with a double block. Do they want to trade off Snacker to save 7, or do they want to take 7 and keep their flying damage? Okay, they went with keep their flying damage. Assemble. They do have a treasure. I guess they could Metallic Rebuke here. Assembler, Neutron Land, Assembler. As far as they know, I'm colorless Tron right now. I haven't revealed any additional information about my deck. I even discarded a Tron land. If I can somehow win this game without revealing a single blue spell or showing a blue land, that becomes really interesting for sideboarding. Wellspring, Deadly Dispute, they're popping off over there. That interaction would have triggered the Snacker if they jump block last turn. And they know their hand in their deck better than I do. They might be looking to chip damage and finish me off with Galvanic Blast. Another familiar, okay. I think I discard the tower here. Like, having these blue cards, as soon as I unlock them, my game plan becomes very good. Oh, they're on full defense mode now. Looking for those double or triple blocks. That's not quite what I wanted. All right, I'm going to send the squad. So double block, trade, chump, triple block, you lose 2 things. All these exchanges are good for me. I know they have Blood Fountain. They can get back the 2 refurbished familiars after combat. But if I still have a 7/7 in play, I don't care. And I'm casting 2 more assemblers this turn. Okay, so they're chumping with Mirror Enforcer, which makes me feel like they have a burn spell to finish off the Lurker. Assembler. Assemble. And I can play around Metallic Rebuke here, so I will. With that Eldrazi spawn, that gives me the 3rd mana. Now if they hit me with another discard ability, I'm going to have to reveal a blue card, but I think compared to having lethal damage on board, it's a good deal. Yep, Galv Blast is going to work. Okie dokie. I'm much bigger than my opponent, but they have better and more. They have more cards than me at this time. I don't know if their cards are better than mine, but they have more of them. They're activating their blood token. That means that the 6 cards they had in their hand didn't solve this problem on their own. They can Blood Fountain here and then cast Mirror Enforcer and Refurbished Familiar. That would add a lot to the board and also slow me down a bit. I think I discard Condescend if they hit me with a discard this turn. Very interested in Petrifying Meddler. And then Brainstorm can supercharge me. Yep, here comes the Blood Fountain, getting back exactly the cards I thought. Either I'm a genius or the play was very obvious. One or the other is true. I'm going to go with the more likely answer of the play was very obvious. Okay, I'm going to dump Condescend. And I'm extremely, extremely interested in finding blue this turn. If I can Petrifying Meddler this Mirror Enforcer and smush them down to 1, that's so insane. Come on, blue mana. No, that's a blue card. You weren't listening, deck. Okay, they can trade off their whole board for 2 of my assemblers and go to 5. I think that is correct, and they are doing it. I'm going to push where I can push. Yeah, I think this color screw is going to get me. I kept a hand that didn't make blue, but I have seen 20 or so cards this game, and they haven't delivered a blue source among them anywhere. I guess 3 of those cards I saw don't count, because self-assembler tutors could never be blue sources. All right, we're doing this again. We're in the lock. We're in the loop. Refurbished Familiar. I think this dumps Repeal. I just have hope for this Brainstorm to supercharge me once we get there. And their permanents all cost way more than they're supposed to because of affinity. They're just dumping out 0s, but they actually cost 7. Double Mirror Enforcer is going to be tough. Being able to tap down 1 and keep pushing would have been a plan, but now we're in trouble. Lorien Revealed. Okay, that is a blue source. I'll take it. Island Cycle this. Find the island. Now I have the choice because Petrifying Meddler doesn't push damage because they found the second Mirror Enforcer. If I Brainstorm, I still have 12 colorless mana available. What are my colorless hits here? Boulder Branch Golem, there's 1 Drownyard Lurker, and that's, oh, Candy Trail, Expedition Map, they both play. There's 1 trail, 4 maps, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 good hits. All my self-assemblers are gone. Versus Petrifying Meddler that I just really don't think does anything. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm. Expedition Map, I did find a Shuffle. I don't hate Utter Insignificance. I do hate that I have to put 2 cards back here. I can redraw 1 of them next turn. Okay, if I put back Insignificance, play out Expedition Map, and then just pass, I can double blue spell next turn, clear their blockers, try to get these last 5 points through. If they have another Refurbished Familiar, I just lose everything here. No! Alright, well, I guess I'm tutoring an Expedition Map just to discard a land of some kind. I'll get a Mine just with the intention of discarding it. This card's really annoying in a way that I enjoy, but tough when they're looping these. That's what the 4th, 5th card I've discarded from those this game. Casting Lorien Revealed. What a nightmare. In for 4, the safe 4 damage that they have. Come on, good spell that I could cast. I mean, that spell is not very good right now. Meddler, tap a Mirror Enforcer. Yeah, this second Enforcer they drew last turn messed up my whole shit. That was the plan. It was the chosen one. Using a Blood in the end step. 29 cards left in their deck. They've drawn half their deck so far, while putting me under steady pressure and disruption the whole time. Thoughtcast. Maybe they'll forget about Secret Reach. It's like not even visible on the card on Magic Online. You have to zoom in to find it. Wellspring. No! Cast down. Alright, well, we've confirmed they have good unconditional removal in the main deck. I'll Spellbomb. My deck doesn't care about that, but okay. Okay, and now I am dead on board. Well, I lose my whole board and go to 1 if nothing changes here. Okay, I mean, where was that last turn? But I'll take it. Lurker. And they have so much mana, Condescend doesn't even seem like it's going to be useful. Yeah, I'm at 1 on the board right now. I can Condescend for 6. 7, because I just made another spawn. Okay, so what I need is for their hand to be blank, and for them to attack with all their flyers to put me to 1, and for me to draw some kind of disruptive spell. Deadly Dispute's not where my fight is. They have so much mana. Almost as much as me. Sneaky Snacker. Doesn't have haste, is a blocker. Makeshift Munitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, time to sack my whole board, because I actually lose to this card. Okay. Exactly enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they didn't play the Snacker first, they would have been able to resolve this. Unfathomable Truths. Is that a card that's going to help me? There's an island right under it. I guess, yeah, top. I redraw the island plus 2 spells, and one of them's allowed to be blue. And if they just have Galvanic Blast or Cast Down or anything, okay, you got me. Alright, yep. Spent probably 1 or 2 turns. 2 mana screwed there. Could have mulliganed the hand. I didn't. We made a run out of it. It was really like, is there a blue card in your top, or a blue land in your top 20 cards or not? Exclude seems really good for that grindy mid part of the game. There's no Mox Monkey or anything like really obvious annul kind of technology for this matchup. I don't think I want to be maging for Campfire here. Campfire is literally 1 tap, you gain 2 life, and then there's some text about your commander that doesn't matter here. Blood Fountain, Loop. Condescend actually seems really terrible. Mirror Shell Crowd might be worse though, but at least it's huge. 5/7 Ward 3 actually does tangle with their squad. I love Utter Insignificance. Spreading Seas in Artifact Land, it's still an artifact, though it could hurt their colors. I might just go 50-50 on the Condescends and Mirror Shell Crabs. So I'm bringing in 2 Excludes, which are worthwhile counterspells. You can't exclude a Galvanic Blast if you're dying, though. I know mana is so wonky when you're playing against this deck. Yeah, this is tough, and I'm not convinced it's correct. What red cards did I see? Oh, Makeshift Munitions and Galvanic Blast. So at least 2, and Munitions is huge. That card's not beatable. I don't want too many Hydro Blasts, but I don't mind a few. Okay. I'll try this. Okay, the opposite issue of no explosive potential at all. I do have my first 2 lands set up, and I can repeal something small if they play a 1-drop. I gotta mulligan this. This is just not gonna do it. Okay, this one has 2 Tron lands. They're the same one, but I also have 2 maps to find the other ones. I'm gonna get rid of Brainstorm here. Keep the Impulse. And hope I draw a differently named Tron land on turn 2 to make this easy. Map go. Opponent is on a multi-6 as well. Mist Vault Bridge, Mist Vault Bridge, tap. Moment of Truth. Can we just draw a mine or an island? Make this easy? Nope. Alright, we're gonna have to work for it. I might tutor island now and let Impulse do some stuff rather than get a random Tron land. Wellspring, cool. They're taking their time. I'm just gonna get an island here. Get my F6 value. Drew an island immediately. Rewarded for my discipline. Okay, I found Urza's Tower, which means that this other expedition map can get Urza's Mine, and then we can start doing stuff. I do have some big monsters in my hand, and I do have the out to blue mana now. And this is why I wanted to cast Impulse before using my second map, because Impulse gets 4 looks, and it could be Mine or Tower in there, or neither. And if I had just blind mapped for Tower and then Impulsed and hit another Tower, I wasted a Demonic Tutor, basically. They have Blood Fountain into Thoughtcast. They're on a slow start, which is actually kind of more terrifying to me, because at some point they're just going to start unloading jerks at me. There's one of them. How many 7-drops are in your hand? Okay, all I can do here is play Tower. I could cycle Drownyard Lurker, make the 0/1, block the Mirrored Forcer, sack it to tutor, but that's not worth more than just having a 7/7 in play at this phase of the game to me. The Snacker, in for 4, I accept. Not that refusing would help. Mapping for the mine in the end step. Relic of Progenitus, not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm going to cast Lurker. It's just bigger than Mirror Enforcer, which is not true of Self-Assembler. And I'll cast this Relic. Give them a poke in the graveyard. The Sneaky Snacker just got a little bit worse. Okay, they didn't cast down immediately in my end step. I like that. Blood token time. Dump to Snacker. That is 2 draws, though. If they make me pop this relic early to deal with this Snacker, then the other one gets to exist and play. And then the Blood Fountain is still alive for later. If they don't draw a card right now, though, the Snacker just gets eaten for free on my turn. They are incentivized to do something here. Cast down my monster, okay. In for 6. I don't think it's time to chump block yet. And they didn't draw another card. Good. Unfathomable Truths. Sweet. I like this card a lot. Turns out I like when cards say draw 3 on them. I'm going to start with Truths. Hope I don't draw another Assembler. Just a grip full of Lorien Revealed. Assemble. We're grabbing another Assembler here off of that. And pass the turn. I'm starting to get my endgame online here. My draw 3 just drew 2 more draw 3s. It's just, do I have enough time and life total to leverage these before it's too late? A Deadly Dispute. This will trigger the Snacker. I think I let the trigger go on the stack first and then pop the relic, though. Because they could Deadly Dispute again in response if I pop before the thing happens. And then they get it back. And I drew a card and exiled a Sneaky Snacker with that. I'll take it. I don't like that there's still one in play, but I can't do anything about it at this time. Just taking their 2 points in the air. I'm in double Galvanic Blast range now. Expedition Map will be good someday. I think I want a Lorien Revealed first. I want to know everything I'm working with before I start committing mana anywhere. Oh no, what's happening? They're tapping mana. This is deck play counterspell. Negate. Get wrecked. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Self-Assembler and Expedition Map with the mana. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I can pay 3. This is fine. Never mind. No, I don't know. I got stuff laying around. Cool. We got away with it. Eldrazi Spawn's coming in big. I'm not going to play my map this turn after all. I will attack for 4, though, since they gave me the window. It's weird because their deck draws so many cards and my deck has so much mana, but we are playing a tempo versus tempo game right now. Okay, they're attacking. I'm going to chump the 4/4 with my 0/1. I want my 4/4s around, but I also want my life total robust. Another tower. Okay, Lorien Revealed. Another one. I got to deal with this flyer. Another negate. Obliterated. I guess I should map for Desert this turn. That's probably my out here. Was that there earlier? Did I miss it? Probably. Yeah, activate the map. Get the Desert. Unfortunate that I am either finding or executing this line now that I'm dead to a single Galvanic Blast or a single removal spell, because then they can push 4 damage in off these Enforcers. Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Their deck is just so good at seeing more cards and having all this cool selection and stuff. And then my deck, the advantage that my deck has over decks like this one is the amount of mana I can generate, but Affinity also generates a lot of mana. It does it differently than Tron does, but that's kind of Affinity's thing. Mana advantage. There's Blood Fountain in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts. And they could tap 1 mana to cast the Enforcer. They could just put both Enforcers back into play right now. And that's assuming the 4 cards in their hand are completely blank. That's the minimum of what they can do this turn. Yeah, there's an Enforcer. Don't have Condescend or Exclude ready. And I'm just dead. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, that was tough. This deck is very powerful. A lot of cool stuff going on. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables. It's round 3. I'm on the draw. I'm going to keep this. It needs mana, but I have blue and a Tron land to get started, and then Brainstorm and Repeal to do stuff in the early game. I think it's worth the risk. Also on the draw. I noticed my mic was acting up a little bit last round. I have fiddled with the settings, and hopefully it's better for the rest of the video. Sorry about that. I think some of my cheap equipment that I bought when I first started streaming almost 6 years ago is kind of at the end of its lifespan at this point, and I'm just slowly upgrading all of it. The mic might be next. Immolating Soul Eater. Oh shit. This thing deals so much damage. Okay. Island Cycle. I'd love to find the make it a 1/1 thing. I did not find the make it a 1/1 thing. Okay, trying to high roll Tron versus maybe they respect a blue mana is going to be really interesting. Can't quite repeal this thing because I'm on the draw. +2/+2 attacks each combat if able. Oh, baby. If I'm not dead here, this repeal is going to be nuts. How much life do they want to put into this? Okay. They just put me to 15. I accept. Deal. Deal, 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 deal. Okay, now I can repeal. And I'm going to pass to them. Do I have to worry about fling? Fling? Oh, yeah, if they fling this thing, I could lose even if I repeal. I think I still am supposed to operate in combat here. Okay, they're starting to pump it. 7, 8, mutagenic growth, 11, 12, 13, spending actual red mana now, aka wussing out. Oh, they have, if they have fling, they got me, but I got them if they don't. Moment of truth. Who's dead? Apostle's Blessing, no! Alright. Good job. Okay. Cool. Alright, well, if they have that protection, I'm out of luck. Oh, I could have cycled the lurker and just blocked. Yeah, maybe I went for too big of a blowout there and didn't respect Apostle's Blessing. Okay, sure. But then you're deciding, do you want to lose to just Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart kind of things on the blocker, or do you want to lose to a protection spell? Okay, I think I want Gutshot in here. I want Hydroblast in here. The Campfire doesn't seem what this is actually about. Mirror Shell Crab, crazy slow. Condescend's pretty slow too. But I do want some interaction. I think Unfathomable Truths can probably get shaved. It's worse than Lorien Revealed. Spreading Seas can mess up mono red decks. It makes it hard for them to cast spells. This is not mono red though. This is a... They probably have like Kiln Fiends and other variants of Soul Eater though in the deck. I don't think there's time to exclude anything. Boulder Branch Golem seems great. The Utter Insignificance seems really good on a Kiln Fiend style card or Immolating Soul Eater style card, which I would board out versus traditional mono red. Meddler's good. I think it's a Condescend, and then just get all these Hydroblast and Gutshots in here. Okay. I'm on the play this time. I will keep this Tron hand. I have the full spread of Tron available to me, and the island ready if I want to pivot. Immolating Soul Eater again. Okay. Well, they did that off Simian Spirit Guide. Gutshot. Repeal. Oh no. The middle fingers are coming. I think I just hold up Hydroblast. That'll stop, like, Flings or Teamer Battle Rage kind of things from killing me, and then I can repeal on my next turn. Okay, here comes the jerk. Spent an actual red mana on that, which means I'm not getting flung here. Okay, end step, get the tower. Hope they don't have the ability to pump and fling this at instant speed, which I was never going to play around. They're clearly representing something, though. They could have pushed another damage there and just chose not to. We've certainly seen the Apostle's Blessing already. Okay, getting tower. Play the tower and pass the turn. Still hoping Hydroblast holds the fort here. If they don't go for a lethal combo, I can repeal in the end step, and even if they stop it, if it's post-combat, it's not that big of a deal. 3 damage this time. Yeah, very clearly representing a 1 mana effect of some kind. I'm gonna shoot my shot here. Gotta flush this thing out eventually. Yep, there it is. That's fine. There we go. Utter insignificance. Okay, play the mine. Play the insignificance, which can exile this creature if it gets too rowdy. Snuck one in there. Play the map with my extra floating mana. Tower can just exile this thing. Utter insignificance has been the quiet MVP of this league. I don't even know if it's quiet, but I'm very excited about it. Oh, good. You can only play 4 of these in your mono red deck with no selection, but sure. You just have 2 of them. It's cool. That's perfectly normal. I'm gonna delete this thing. I don't even want to take 1 from it. This satyr can die from Hydroblast. Do I want desert? Or do I want an island? Do I want to brainstorm on my turn and use the map to shuffle? I think I just want an island. If I could just draw one of my big people, that would be great. Removal doesn't beat decks like this. Bigger creatures beat decks like this. If they have to pump and use tricks and stuff just to push anything through like a 3/3 or 4/4 creature, those are the games you're winning, not the games where they're in complete control and you have to come to them with removal spells. Getting the island. I don't have faith in desert actually killing anything here. And I have to take the damage first, which might be too late. Okay, Impulse. Much more interesting than Brainstorm from this position. Come on, big stupid asshole I can cast. Just any 4, 5, or 7 drop is good. Pyroblast, no! I mean, I could have played around that. Didn't expect it, not gonna lie. They got 2 cards in hand. Soul Eater is good for quite a chunk of damage here, if they want to go all in. Mutagenic Growth on the Hoplite. Okay. I'll let that resolve. And now they're starting to immolate. How far are they going? Okay. Once they tap out of 2 mana, I'm less worried about everything. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Please don't have another Pyroblast in your hand, I guess. Sweet. All right. Got me for Xaxes. Cool deck. Just kept me exactly off balance enough. The Simian Spirit Guide, having that on turn 1 was a huge game changer. Also, just having 2 Immolating Soul Eaters, which has got to be the best card in this deck in your top 8 cards. Sure. Good job. But cool. Cool deck. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. On the draw in round 4 with another one of these colorless hands, I think I'm in to keep these with Candy Trail involved. Like if Candy Trail was like a 7-drop, I would mulligan this, but okay. Immediately up to the test on the draw versus mono red with a hand that may or may not function. Power Plant, Candy Trail. I'm looking for Urza's Tower or Island. Okay, Lorien Reveal counts as Island. Get rid of the Mine. Put the Lorien Reveal on top. I think my plan next turn is to play Mine and pop the Candy Trail. Because I can't repeal Goblin Blast Runner next turn with Lorien Revealed. I could have done it with actual Island. Experimenter Synthesizer hit a card that they can't cast for huge value right away. That never happens. They always just hit the next land drop, keep the 1-lander, hit the land. They did, in fact, keep a 1-lander. Okay, Urza's Mine and pass. As long as you have sacrificed a permanent. Okay, just making sure that my Candy Trail isn't going to pump their thing. If it's like some card that was templated, if any card has been sacrificed. But that's not what's going on. Okay, they kept the 1-lander, got punished. Where are we going from here? Resynthesizer. What do we got? Ah, lucky. We got 1 time walk off their greedy keep. Okay, this thing has haste. I'm just going to pop this Candy Trail and F6, and we found the tower. Magic is easy. Like I said, having a bigger creature is more important versus aggro than having removal spells, so I will put a 4/4 in front of their various creatures and hope this holds up. I am probably going to cycle Lorien Revealed with my extra mana here, and then I can have Self-Assembler plus bounce what I need to next turn. If I draw Tower, I could double Assembler, which might be better than that. Implement of Combustion. Is this... It can't block. No, it just deals 1. Okay. That does activate the Blast Runner, though. Gives it Menace. Mountain. Galvanic Blast is not on. And if they want to trade 2 for 1, 2 damage Galvanic Blast and Goblin Tomb Raider for Assembler, I'll take it. Nope, just a regular attack for 3. Can't block it. Don't have enough creatures. Another Implement, okay. And Step Cycle Lorien. The Unfathomable Truths and all the various new cards that make a Eldrazi Spawn, or Eldrazi Scion, whichever one is worse. I think they're spawns. The cards in front of me, Spawn. Those are really good versus Menace, because that 0/1's not doing much, but turning off a Menace creature rules. Another Assembler, and I drew Crab. So now I have Crab or Repeal available depending on how I need to interact this turn. I'm not taking any risk by attacking with this 4/4. I don't want to lose suddenly to a Bushwhacker draw. Just going to turtle up for a turn or 2 here until it's completely safe to start bashing. I want to get the game to a spot where I'm not taking any damage each turn, and then I want to get the game to a spot where they're dead in 1 or 2 hits. That's my plan. Okay, they're rebirthing, targeting Synthesizer, flipped a Goblin Tomb Raider. I can't counter this, so I won't. If they follow up with a Bushwhacker, I can counter that. Here's the Tomb Raider. This Bushwhacker's from earlier. Not a concern right now. Okay, so they're attacking with all of these. I'm going to block, and then pass priority. And I can repeal this jerk. End up taking 0 this combat. I hope. Okay, all of their creatures are out of play now. They can replay the homie. Yeah, that's fine. This is exactly the exchange I said I was fine with last turn. If they want to spend multiple cards dealing with cards that tutored themselves and are barely count as cards for me. Yeah, they got 1 card in their hand. Self-Assembler. I can get the last one here. And I could play it if I want to tap out. And they could draw a card here. They could flip a card here. So there's a bunch of secret, hidden card advantage. Or sneaky card advantage. It's not really a secret. There is sneaky card advantage at play here. I'm just going to dump out my Assemblers. I think having 8 power and toughness in play is better than like drawing 3 cards or trying to hold up a counterspell this turn. The Assemblers are in. And that's my turn. We know their hand is the Blast Goblin. I take 1 and they draw a card. Bushwhacker's still worth a lot of damage here. I hope they don't have it. Blast Runner has Menace, because they have Sack to Permanent. And of course they have Bushwhacker. Of course they have Bushwhacker. Alright. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go to 6. It's a lot of damage. Okay, yep. That was the card I was most worried about this turn. 6 life remains. I'd love to find a Boulder Branch Golem. But now I have 2 counter spells. Unfathomable Truths is a fun... Weird to call that a combat trick, but it kind of is when Menace creatures are involved. I can also exile a creature of my choice. I don't think I want a Mirror Shell Crab to counter these flips. Or the 2/2. They flipped a mountain. Make a 2/2. There's the mountain. 2 cards in hand. Goblin Blast Runner. I think that's fine. Okay, no attack. They're a coward. I needed that. End step. The truths are unfathomable. I do not want to get hit with a lightning bolt here, but I also don't want to leave mana unspent if I could be selecting. I will take my risk here and cast Impulse. Another Impulse, a Lorien, a Repeal. I want Repeal. I've got the Utter Insignificance. We know that trick is good. Okay, they didn't do anything. Dodge the bolt. Candy Trail. I'll take that life. I'm going to lead on Trail and probably pop it immediately. Urza's Tower does all that. I can play another tower and just replace all this mana. Looking for a Boulder Branch Golem. Don't need Expedition Map. I will take Repeal. Candy Trail pops. And Urza's Tower. I can repeal the 2 tokens and they're gone. I could repeal 1 thing and counter a thing. And I got a lot of options here. I just need them not to draw insane for like 1 turn cycle. And then I'm good. Implement of Combustion puts me to 8 and turns on their Blast Runners. The Swad is coming in. If I block, 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 I can repeal, and take no damage here. Or I block all the tokens, repeal the goblins. But they're not gone forever. I could repeal the Samurai token. I think I want to start by repealing a Blast Runner and see what the game looks like after that. I drew a tower, or a power plant, an irrelevant bonus Tron land. And now I can double block here, go to 6. Yeah, I'll just go to blocks. Double block Blast Runner, block Samurai. And taking 2 damage is not the worst here. Having up Condescend and Mirror of Shell Crab makes me less worried about what might follow up. Okay, damage was dealt. I'm at 6. Double Bolt is something they could be playing towards here. But I'm so worried about Double Bolt. I'm a wuss. I'm just going to go to my turn. Never tapping out a blue mana again. You can't make me do it. Okay, their attacks are getting worse while my battlefield gets better. I'm just going to hold. Goblin Grenade. All right, well, that has to be countered. Can't go to 1 here. They have 4 mana. Condescend for 5. And now I'm aware Goblin Grenade is a card in their deck. I know it's in the format, but sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Ooh, there's the Golem. Give me one more turn. Give me one more turn here. Let me gain 6 and I can never lose. Chain Lightning. I think I can afford to go to 3 here. Well, I can't counter it anyway, so is what it is. I can block their creatures. They actually stacked the combat damage backwards last turn. They could have made it so I don't have an Eldrazi spawn right now. And then that menace creature would have been insane. Okay, let me just gain 6 off a giant creature, and we can stop this nonsense. Yeah, okay, cool. Took game 1 off of mono red. I like it. Okay, I'm cutting the Mirror Shell Crabs because they are slow and bad. And utter insignificance. As we saw that game, most of their creatures are insignificant anyway. Like, you can turn a 3/2 menace into a 1/1, I guess. But 5 mana to remove a creature that's probably a 1/1 or 2/2 anyway. Not a great deal. And this is a matchup where we saw them keep a 1-lander. Mana screwing them is reasonable with Spreading Seas. This is a spot where Trinket Mage and Campfire are going to come in. And I'll cut 2 Condescends from those. This sideboard plan, at the suggestion of deck donor Samael, who has put a bunch of work into this matchup, a lot more than me. I'm going to trust their plan. Let's go. Okay, Hydroblast, Spreading Seas, bunch of sideboard cards. I'm in. I have my first 3 land drops lined up. Starting off with the Great Furnace, the full Goblin Guide treatment. Luckily, I can remove this before it does too much damage to me. Island go. I'm going to Hydroblast this thing in combat. We're in combat, so they're not going to have another haste creature here. Goblin Bomb, Grenade. Goblin Bomb is a much worse card. Goblin Grenade is a sorcery. Voldaren Epicure. Okay. Do they have a land? They do. Okay. Bummer. Implement of Combustion. And I'm going to Spreading Seas the Mountain, not the Great Furnace, because they can kill their own Great Furnace, even under Spreading Seas with Kuldotha Rebirth. And I don't want to give them that option. I just want to make the game hard for them to play. Sacking the Implement. They do have plenty of mountains here. The Mana Screw plan isn't working great. Though Bushwhacker does cost red. Does make it really hard to do that if I'm up in their business like this. A Power Plant pass. I've got a Hydroblast ready. And if I don't need a Hydroblast, I can Brainstorm plus Cycle Lorien and get 2 things going. Discarded a 3rd mountain to the Blood token. They're on a mana heavy draw here, unfortunately. Goblin Tomb Raider. I can kill that if I need to. I will counter a Bushwhacker if they play one. That's too much damage. I think I'm okay taking this 3 damage right now. The Brainstorm plus Cycle Lorien just seems really important to getting my plan off the ground right now. Tron. Okay. Do I even want a Cycle Lorien now? I can Spreading Seas another land or hold up Hydroblast while I play a Self-Assembler. Yeah, I think I'm going to put back the 2 Spreading Seas, or a Self-Assembler will shuffle anyway. So if I put back, yeah, I don't think the Seas are doing what they were supposed to here. I'm going to play Self-Assembler and hold up Hydroblast next turn. So if I don't want the Seas, I might as well cycle a Lorien and get my second blue locked up. Yeah, I'll do that. I have another one, so I'm not worried about running out of gas if I stabilize the board. Drew a Self-Assembler, blown out. Card advantage spewed. Petrifying Meddler does survive Galvanic Blast, but they are not close to Metalcraft right now, and I can counter it. They got 3 cards in their hand. I'm at 12. We're just counting at this point. If they have like Smash to Smithereens, I will counter that. Yep. That's worth a lot of damage. The 3 off the actual Smash, plus everything that comes through as they attack past my 4/4. No thanks. You can't smash Petrifying Meddler. Maybe I should be putting more respect on that name. Bushwhacker. Okay, they snuck one of those through, but at least I have a 4/4 in play now. I'm going to block their 3/2. Or they're just going to pack it up because they realize I'm bigger than them. Interesting. All right. Beat Mono Red. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw in round 5, positive record on the line, literal zero lander here, gonna mulligan. Here we go, that's Tron. I will keep this and put one of the brainstorms to the bottom. Let's party. A Plains. Novice Inspector. Okay, looks like we've got some Boros bounce in the chat. And I found something to do with Tron that's exciting. Oh, they just sacked their clue on turn 2. Tron decks love to see it. Second Plains, though, this might be a mono-white version instead of the Boros bounce. We'll see as this develops. That's a lot of Plains. Okay, yeah, this I suspect this is something else. Squadron Hawk. This is too many Plains and not enough artifacts for me to be concerned about Boros. They did tutor all 3 Hawks, which means they'll have to discard something this turn if they don't play another 1-drop, which they did not do. I'm going to go get a Power Plant. Discarded Prismatic Strands, okay. My deck barely deals damage with colors. Power Plant, Assembler, get another Assembler. I am going to cycle Lorien this turn. I want my blue unlocked. I want to start holding up interaction or be able to brainstorm. They've got the Battle Screech. Right, they're going to have a lot of 1/1s. They can Screech immediately. Screeching. I don't have much solution for a major go-wide plan like this. I need one of my flying blockers. Ooh, okay. That doesn't block flying, but it is really big. And lets me start to go on the attack. Is that what I want to be doing? I have 10 colorless mana or 8 mana with a blue this turn. I could play another Self-Assembler and hold up Mirror Shell Crab or Brainstorm. Like, if I Brainstorm first, Self-Assembler can be my shuffle. I think I want to go on the attack, play a Self-Assembler, and leave up the option to Brainstorm or Crab something. This second Assembler can't block anyway. They only have 1 non-flying creature. And I have to lure them into a race that I can win, but they can't. I assume they have some kind of pump your squad effects in this deck. Like a Remotion Rally or something. They're mono white for a reason. Journey to Nowhere. Okay. Well, we're going straight to nowhere. Goodbye, Self-Assembler. And they've hit all their land drops, so I can't even counter that. That's only 1 extra damage, all things considered. It's not that bad. It's not like that was holding back 4 creatures. Okay, here we go. Guardian's Pledge. We expected a squad pump, and we got one. I will counter that. I would rather take 6 than infinity. Significantly smaller number. Condescend. Love it. Older Branch Golem. Give me that life gain. I might need it sooner than I think. Resist Tower. And I will attack with my Assembler again. I do have to push damage. I can Condescend for 3. They've spent 4 mana on a card. That's fine. I want them to tap some creatures, and I'll Condescend the back end of this. Raven Inspector is also fine. I know all 3 cards in their hand right now are Squadron Hawks. Okay, I'm Condescending this. Drownyard, Lurker, and Island. Do these cards help? They have so many random stupid little bodies. I think I'm going to bottom both of these. I just really need the flying blocker. I took 5 in the air. I'm going to Brainstorm because I have Self-Assembler to shuffle. I can put back the bonus Assembler. Oh, I can tutor Desert this turn. That rules. Okay, put back these 2. Map, tutor Desert. Slowly get control of the situation. Play Desert. Play Assembler. No protection up here. They still only have 2 non-flyers, which means I can attack with my biggest creature. They're in chump mode. They're at 12. We're making something of a race out of this. They are winning the race right now. I am dead next turn if I don't hit well. Their hand is 3 Squadron Hawks. They can play all of them. Chose to draw a card instead. And they have me on a 2-turn clock, whether they have these Hawks in play or not. So swinging for the fences on drawing a pump spell makes a lot of sense. End of combat. I'll kill a bird token. I don't know if killing a token versus the Hawk actually matters, but in case they have graveyard recursion or something. I can knock flying off one of these things. It's still not enough. I gotta gain life or find a reach creature right now. That doesn't do it. Oh, how many other creatures? Can I just win? All right, my plan here, if I tutor Island, all right, the only plan I have is tutoring Island and utterly insignificanting both of their creatures. I'll count later. I think I have exactly enough here. Yes, I do. You are insignificant. Wow. My creatures are all colorless, so prismatic strands, what am I even saying? Prismatic strands doesn't matter. What color did they even name? That's weird. It just left my screen without telling me what color they named. Okay, exile this. Yeah, the golem's only green if you prototype it. Here we go. Utter insignificance. Wow. That was sweet. Okay, what do I do here? Gutshot deals 2 damage to remove a flyer that might deal more than 2 damage at some point. In the Spreading Seas plan, they're also a monocolored deck, but they didn't seem to have trouble having a bunch of lands in play. Relic could hit Battle Screech or Prismatic Strands, but I don't really care about Strands. Even Petrifying Meddler is not affected by Strands because it's devoid. I could see the Campfire coming up in a tight race like that one. Okay, so Condescend and the Crabs. Oh, utter insignificance. Though it was a hero that particular game, I don't think that's going to come up often. But having it as an option is pretty wild. Do I want any number of crabs over any number of insignificances? That's the decision there is to make here. You know what? I kind of like the idea of having an actual hard removal spell in my deck. I seem to have lost connection to Magic Online. Let's figure out what's going on here, and I'll bring you back when I'm in a game. Okay, we're back for game 2, but my sideboard did not register. This was on my end. This was not Magic Online. My power flickered and my internet went out for like 1 second. But then it takes a couple minutes to reboot, so guess what? No sideboard. I love my job, but at the same time, living in a world where my ability to do my job relies on so many external factors like my power flickering or the internet coming through okay, or, you know, all these things. It's tough sometimes. My computer working. All those things. So many things could go wrong. Okay. We're back though. Rafine's Informant. I kept a Condescend on top. Maybe I can bork their curve. I don't know what 3-drop they'd play. And I think I want to Impulse here rather than Candy Trail if I don't end up condescending. Yeah, for sure. This just sees more cards. And I found mine. Oh, but Desert. Desert going this early could just change everything. Yeah, I'm going to get Desert, play it. Mirror Shell Crab, Condescend. I have Interaction up, and I have Incidental Murder of Creatures ready to go. It's crazy they just didn't do anything with their turn 3 mana. No instant, no sorcery, no creature. Now they have 4 mana. Or Skyfisher. I could just crab this. Can't condescend it. I am going to crab this. I'll take 2 from the Rafine's Informant by tapping out a Desert, but the Skyfisher just resets the Informant anyway, gives them card selection. It's a big durable flyer that is hard for me to beat. I care about Squadron Hawk way less than core Skyfisher. I am okay with this sequencing. They got 5 cards in their hand, 3 of them are Squadron Hawk. Okay, I think I should hold up Condescend mana rather than play out this Expedition map. I have lands to play still. I can crack Candy Trail if nothing else happens. The X1s are coming in. End of combat. I'm going to kill Squadron Hawk. I'm more worried about flyers than I am about 2 power on the ground. I'm very good at stopping power on the ground. There's the first Hawk. I can Condescend if they play a second one. I'll just pop Candy Trail if they don't. Found a map. Wait, there's the Boulder Branch Golem. Map, land, and pass. This is kind of an interesting development of managing. Do I just shove my 4/4? How do I keep Desert up? I'm trying to activate Expedition Map while also condescending a spell. There's a lot going on here. Revoke existence. Well, this thing can revoke its own existence. Cool story. I'll get the tower. I'm still prepared to condescend if I have to. I take some damage here. I'm still going to kill the flyers. I've taken 2 extra damage so far this game because of that decision, but I think it will pay out eventually. Utter Insignificance, spike that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one short of Boulder Branch Golem. Expedition Map is in, and I'm going to hold up the counterspell one more turn, and then I'll just start jamming Bigos. Idyllic Range, this puts a +1 counter on a thing? Is that what this does? Yeah, okay. Sure. Okay, they're in for 4. End of combat. Oh, that's the wrong land. I can finally kill this 2/1 creature. 2/2 flyer. Watch out for that. Time to gain some life and start turning around the beats. Turn the beat around. End step. Tutor. The Mine. I'm also going to Insignificance the Hawk. It's still a 2/2, but it doesn't have flying, and I can exile it with any mana I have laying around. Ooh, the Meddler. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana here. I think I just want to play 2 Self-Assemblers and leave up Desert. Yeah, 2 Assemblers and the Desert is up. I can't exile the Squadron Hawk. Tapped out of that, but I can block it. Something's happening in the end step. Destroy Evil. Okay. Well, that's back. That's 3 damage now that I can't interact with. The pump spell we saw could make it 7 damage. Ooh, that was nice. Okay, not bad. Leaving back the 1/1 like a coward. Okay. Now I can play Boulder Branch, gain the life, and hold up Condescend to protect it. I could Petrifying Meddler and just put an end to all of this nonsense. If I'm going to meddle, I could Candy Trail first. I could Candy Trail first regardless. All right, I'm going to start with Candy Trail. Brainstorm and Crab. Brainstorm's phenomenal here. I'm going to bottom Crab, top Brainstorm. Because I have 2 Self-Assemblers in hand, and they're the last 2. If I could Brainstorm 1 away, that means I'm definitely not playing Self-Assembler this turn. I'm going to play the Meddler and lock down Squadron Hawk. This gives me the biggest Condescend. It lets me Candy Trail, leaves the mana up while taking the least damage. Secret Reach. Secret Reach. This is also a creature they can't exile with Destroy Evil or Revoke Existence. They can do that, but I could Condescend it. This is cool. I get to tap my Desert to counter this, which is both correct because I want to leave up Candy Trail, and if they don't know about Secret Reach, now the Desert is tapped. I don't think I need another Mine. I will continue to keep Brainstorm on top. Okay. Reach isn't as much of a secret as I hoped. Another Mine anyway, Motobug. Brainstorm. Put back an Assembler. Assembler's out. Do I want Mine this turn or Island? I think I'd rather have Mine. I do have a lot of colorless stuff to cast here. Assemble. Playing the second Assembler here taps me out of Crab. Do I think Crab is good? I could just play Crab as a creature. That's what I'm doing. Alright, yeah, just giant creature in play. Ward 3. I have a Reach monster. They've got 2 cards in hand. And no attacks past the turn. That's what I'm looking for in life. And now I have a Condescend to back it all up. Here come the Ground Pounders. Just take away almost half their life total in one big hit here. Play the Golem. Just trying to shove lethal damage onto the board. I'd rather hold up Condescend than add the Assembler, though. Yeah, I want them to lose real material next turn if they need to block, which they're going to have to. Raven Inspector is a nice blocker that keeps the cards flowing. And they packed it up. That's going to be a positive record for Mono Blue Tron featuring a bunch of cool cards from MH3. Major props to Utter Insignificance. This card was awesome. The Repeal trick came up big. In addition to just being a hard removal spell in a color that doesn't normally get those, we had one game where I used all 3 repeals on the same utter insignificance and dealt with 4 creatures. That was awesome. Petrifying Meddler, having Reach, just plugging one of the biggest holes this deck had, which is flyers. Hard removal and dealing with flyers were the 2 things that I really struggled with the first time I played this deck. This is the 3rd time I've played various versions of this deck for Samael, and this one is, so far, feels the best. Samael, great work with all your updates from MH3. This deck really feels like it's coming together. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.